All right, guys. Once again, we're out here at night because it's hot as balls in Georgia. Uh, Tonight, we're covering aftermarket parts that people regret buying. And some of these are valid concerns, some of them are just ignorant. So, we're going to unpack them, explain this a little bit better to you guys so you can go into the market a little more educated. Uh, Turbo leaks, turbo tweaks, and exhaust. DPF back exhaust, this customer's complaint. I bought a DPF back exhaust, minimal flow improvement, throws codes without deletes. Uh, that's dumb. Because you've changed literally nothing but the look of the tailpipe. You have not changed flow. The DPF and the SCR are determining flow. So if they haven't been modified, you're not changing flow of the tailpipe. So this person has no clue how a diesel exhaust system works, and changing the tailpipe cannot cause codes. Only a clogged up or inoperative DPF or DCR is going to cause that. So, or SCR is going to cause that. So the sensors are before the tailpipe. So changing the tailpipe out is not going to change what those sensors are reading as far as pressure and temperature. So that's very ignorant. 5-inch straight pipe exhaust, no muffler, drone kills the driving experience. Some regret the noise. Absolutely, I've experienced that. I did a 5-inch turbo back exhaust on my 0359. Absolutely hated it. I think it lasted 2 weeks, and I took it off. It was just, you couldn't even think, couldn't talk on a cell phone anymore. The drone going down the highway on a common rail is just atrocious. 6 liters sounds like a fat chick farting into a culvert. It's just not a good sound. If you're going to do a 5-inch exhaust, which is absolutely pointless, you're just trying to be noisy. So if you just want obnoxious sound, 5 inches is going to be for you. If you want a good free-flowing exhaust system that's going to help with performance, stick with a stock exhaust, and you can make 700-800 horsepower with a stock exhaust. You don't need an aftermarket exhaust to make more horsepower. That can be done with turbos, injectors, and tuning. The exhaust is an aftermarket exhaust, more free-flowing than the factory. I mean, the factory exhaust has got baffles in the muffler, so the air has to do some of that, whereas the aftermarket exhaust is straight through a resonating chamber. So yeah, it's going to flow a little bit better than the baffles, but not enough to make a huge difference. Aftermarket boost tubes, pretty but useless. Giant waste of money, but they look nice. I kind of agree with that. I have aftermarket boost tubes on my trucks. I got an Obsession diesel kit for this truck. Looks absolutely beautiful. It's like jewelry under the hood, art. I've got the Mishimoto boost tubes on this truck, and basically the stock boot coming off the turbo kept it exploding and popping off and driving me nuts. I just wanted a better aftermarket boot, and so I sprung for the boost tubes that came with the boots and all the brand new clamps. So they look nice. We take these trucks to car shows, me and my daughters, so it's nice. We pop the hood and you got some shiny stuff under the hood. So I agree with that statement, but I'm guilty of running aftermarket boost tubes on all my trucks. Compound turbo kits with stock bottom end, overkill without upgrading internals, a tuning nightmare. On a Duramax, absolutely, that's true. Yeah, like I would not put compounds on a Duramax with stock bottom end. I don't think it's a tuning nightmare. Like, we've done thousands of them over the years, and I mean, you get a hold of PPEI and tell them you got an LB7 with compounds. They can get you a file out pretty much same day, and it should run absolutely perfect. That's been my experience anyway. So maybe with a hack tuning guy that's not a calibrator, that could be a nightmare, because he's just throwing poo at the wall and hoping something sticks. But with a good calibrator that knows what they're doing, that shouldn't be an issue. But compounds on a stock bottom end is not a big deal. If you got a 5.9 Cummins or a 6.7 Cummins even, 6.4 Power Stroke comes with compound turbos from the factory. So that's kind of a goofy statement, but this was probably off Duramax for him. I didn't put footnotes in here. I just grabbed all the whiny complaints. So yeah, if you want to run compounds on a 5.9, 6.7 Cummins, 6.7 Power Strokes do fine with compounds on stock bottom end, and 6.0 Power Strokes do good with compounds on a stock bottom end. Early 7.3s, same deal. I don't see an issue there other than Duramaxes. We have scattered some rods on Duramaxes by putting compounds on and nothing else. So bigger exhaust untuned, bottlenecked by the stock downpipe. absolute waste of under 500 horsepower. I just touched on that. I agree with that 100%. There's really no need for exhaust unless you just want the look of an aftermarket exhaust. That's usually what most people are after, is the look and the sound. So I agree with that statement. It's a waste, and the stock downpipe's not the bottleneck. The back of the turbo is. But yeah, that covers tonight's episode for whiny people not understanding what they bought. Hit us up in the comments if you bought parts that you regret, and we'd love to help you out with them before you get frustrated.